late, I got a marathon of pace. Went from addict to a workaholic, word to Dr. Dre, and that was marijuana tape. Yes, I got a chronic case. And I ain't just blowing smoke. That's just in your mama's face. I know this time Paul and Dre, they won't tell me what not to say. And know me in my party days have all pretty much parted ways. You swear to God, I forgot him, got it, made not a break. One last time for Charlemagne, if my response is late, it's just how long it takes to hit my fucking radar. I'm so far away. These rappers are like Hunger Games. 1 minute they're mocking Jake, next minute they get this style from me, go so they copy Drake. Maybe I just don't know when to turn around and walk away. But all the hate, I call it walk on Watergate. I've had as much as I can tolerate. I'm sick and tired of waiting. I done lost my patience. I can take all of you motherfuckers on it once. You want it shady? Got it. Yeah. Somebody tell button before I step, he better fasten it or have his body back. It's the closest thing he's had to hit the smacking bitch. Ain't gonna make me have to give it back to academics. Say this shit is trash again. I'll have you twisted like you had it when you thought you had me slipping at the telly. Even when I'm getting brain, you'll never catch me but I'm dumb. Lacking with it, king sitting on this on his last. Oh, you better go back and listen. You know me better. Thinking I'm so what that I'm holding crack. Cause it's the total setup of that you have fallen.
What's up? What's up, people joining? We're about to start. Live on a bunch of YouTube channels, on the TikToks. We'll start here soon. I'm just checking. Checking all the logistics of everything. Is it working? Doesn't look like it's working.
Remember, I was here before you, and I'll be here after you. You're running forward. You track this, I'ma have to fuck with a corpse.
Oh, looks like it might be working now. Wait. Right on. May the frame be with you. See you on there. Welcome. Okay, it's connecting on this YouTube channel. You'll just give it a minute as I talk to everybody else. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Levels of training game with AZD.
You know, the IRD in the air. So kid is bubbling this probably think in the mirror. I'm doing it for the rest. I don't really even care. But you would think I'm carrying an Oxford dictionary in my pocket. How I'm burying these artists on a scale that turns around.
It's still not connecting.
I'm just barely getting started. In bars, Lord Jamar, you better leave me the hell alone, or I'll show you when I was gone. Walk up in this house you own, cross my pelvic bone, need the telephone, then go get me the remote. Put my feet up and just make myself at home. I'm alone here. Clown, tell me about the coach. I inspired the Hobsons, the logic.
Too bad it's not really connecting. Anyway, what's up? What's up, everybody? I'm Yogi Chris, Captain of IMC Nation. About to get started here. Oh, hell yeah, connected. All right, yeah, just a minute. There it is. Fuck yeah.
There it is.
Okay, guys, here on Stoic Temple YouTube, you could join our show here. Here's the Zoom link. All right, US/J/. All right. There you go. Perfect. And right when the song ended. 100% perfect. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, TikTokers. Bible of Arash, AZD_IMC TikToks. You're both getting streamed right there. I could turn and face you, but I don't want to. I'm Yogi Chris, Captain of IMC Nation. I live with AZD, and you guys are following this account because of AZD. That's the guy with all the face tattoos, with all the clips that we post that do really well. And we're also live on Stoic Temple YouTube, IMC TV YouTube, and a couple of the Facebook groups. May the frame be with you. Anybody that's on Facebook, you know, you could see our old pickup groups that still are active and have a lot of people active in there. And what's going on here? And Brotherhood of the Wolf. That's the other Facebook group. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. I'm Yogi Chris, right? So I live with this guy who's a top player, maybe the top player. Can't really prove it. It's like saying, I don't know. There's not really competitions. I was going to say best chess player. You could prove best chess player maybe, but there are some art forms. It's hard to say the best. That's what it is. It's an art. So it's like best musician. Who's the best guitarist? I mean, that's up for opinion, and there's different styles. But who's the best player? I'm sure there's guys out there that we don't really know about, or, you know, they're just kind of living undercover. Maybe they're just not dating coaches, pick up coaches like that. They're just good with women. And, you know, maybe some of them got good, like they started bad and then they got good, versus like they were just kind of always good. They had great role models, male role models. They were around women, lost their virginity early usually, and, you know, just kept at it. They were in the right situations. So just like some people are programmed for wealth, or some people are kind of trained to be hella athletes just from a young age. They're born from athletic parents and they're always around sports, and, you know, they're trained right, whatever. There are actually some people, it's actually rarer, I think, because there are so few ladies men, real legit ladies men. And, you know, but maybe you grew up around that, and so you're a natural. And you know, there's always the exception where it's like the guy had super athletic parents and then he's not athletic at all, and he's such a disappointment to his parents. There's probably some player dads that had some sons and they were just like not good with women, but probably they were pretty good. They had a natural ability. And there's a difference between a natural, which is still a rare thing in the nature of humanity. Like, I don't know the statistics, but I mean, just think of all the men you know and how many of them are really ladies' men. And your reference, I'll tell you, is already low, meaning you haven't been around a guy that it's just killing it with women, with the finest women. But you probably know, I mean, in your group, you maybe know 5, maybe you know 50 men. You know, I used to wrestle. And so I had 30 best friends at the University of Oklahoma. Just like, those were my training partners. I was around them so much. We traveled, we went through all the pain, like those are my brothers. And so I could think of 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of them that were above average ladies men. It would be, if it's 30 people on the team, 3 guys were getting girls, like really getting girls. A lot of guys had girlfriends. I wasn't one of them, but I mean, I got with some girls while I was in college at the time. I mean, you know, still above average of the condition of human men. So I'm told, like, according to the research, it's like the average man. I don't know how they calculated this, and if they include all the men in Africa and South America and Asia, I don't know. But they said it was like 4 or 7 sexual partners, something like that. Let's say 7 for the average man. 7 sexual partners in their lifetime. Okay, so I was doing above average in college, but it was garbage. Like, I couldn't keep the girl, you know, one night stands, alcohol involved. It's just junk. You know, it's not game. I mean, the game was I got really good at wrestling. So I was part of a really good wrestling. So I had some prestige, I had a great body. And, you know, so then I was aligned with tough guys. So when I didn't go to parties or whatever by myself, even I went with my teammates. So we always rolled as like a gang. So there was a lot going for me, but I didn't know, I wasn't doing my game like that. I was just, that's how I was. I was so immature and unable to communicate, whatever. But it still got some girls. But even in my group of guys, there was the above average, the 1 in 10. And those guys, they weren't players, man. They were more socialized, handsome usually, and successful, obviously, with wrestling, confident, you know, big dicks, like that natural big dick energy. Like, there's a reason why they're confident, but that doesn't mean that they were ladies' men. They weren't players for sure. And afterwards, I know one got married and it's just downhill from there. And this other one lost touch with them. And I said maybe 3. So a third one also got married, and, you know, he's one of those cool married guys, but I know what happens in marriage. Guys, I know the condition of men. Bunch of people watching on this TikTok, bunch of people watching across YouTube channels. I know the condition of men, dude. I've been there, and I've communicated with so many of you guys on Zoom. Like, you know, DJ Side Effects was here from New Mexico, and impressive, dude. Impressive for a guy that's out there in, I mean, let's be real, middle of nowhere. What, your town is 25, 50,000 people. You're around Albuquerque somewhere that's like 500, 600,000 people, but it's a remote city. I know, I went to so many cities. Like, the social landscape of Albuquerque is not the social landscape of Jacksonville, even though they're the same population size. Jacksonville's a lot closer to a bunch of other things going on. It's 6 hours to the nearest thing from Albuquerque. It's remote. You know what I'm saying? But he came here, San Jose, for a camp. social guy, confident, walked with authority, had purpose. He was a developed human being, a developed man. But I know the condition of men out there. Who's your backup out there in New Mexico? Are you moving with a pack? Are they loyal? Are they strong? Are they wise? Are they witty, sharp? Aware. So I know your power as you move is not going to be the same when you're a lone wolf out there versus a pack or a tribe. And there's ways to tribe up with the IMC Nation. It's not just like, I was talking about pickup a moment ago. I kind of lost where I was going with the story, but basically at some point move forward after wrestling. I always had cliques and there was always guys and, girls were involved. Let's say when I was selling drugs, girls came and bought drugs. And, you get with girls that way. Like you meet them. That was my pickup. That was my game. Didn't know it. Didn't know that was my game. I wasn't getting girls high to get with them. I was getting high. You know what I mean? But, and I was honestly, we could call it naive. We could call it innocent. But I definitely had a goodness in me, my upbringing, my parents' toxic relationship, but God bless their hearts, probably the best marriage that you'll see. It's as good as it gets at 40 years, 45 years, how long they've been married, because of my mom's goodness and my dad's even better goodness, and from their family. So great condition, but, so I was, whatever it is, to be a good drug dealer. But I got with some girls from that, got a girlfriend from that, and it destroyed my life. Had to start all over, go in another direction. It was like I had never wrestled, and like I was another man on the other side of that game. And then I'm going for PhD and I'm playing music. I'm so involved in my music. Jesus Christ, so involved in my music. Every chance I could get. In between classes, as a PhD or master's, I'm also teaching classes. So it sounds it is still immature, but between classes, teaching classes, office work, like the guitar, man. I had a travel guitar so I could take it to the office. I had like 10 other guitars, electric, acoustic, classical, bass, amplifiers everywhere. I was just a college student, a master's in engineering, a PhD in engineering. But that was my game. Like a terrible game because I was lacking in so many other things. So rare it was for me to get a girl over. But when I did get a girl over, Jesus Christ, I play a song for her. And it was so good. I was so involved in it. But that's not good game. I still couldn't keep the girl, no matter how good the music is. If you're so beta or weak or unable to communicate, detached, you're not there as a man. Even after I got better off of drugs, I was still like socially, and my language and my communication so stunted. And even though I was excellent PhD student, research, could do presentations, could talk I could coach wrestling, like in certain audiences, in certain areas, confident, could speak. But around women, man, I didn't have any authority. I didn't understand women. I didn't know how to lead. I didn't know what I was doing. The women, it would be from like my office or somewhere I crossed paths at university or something. What's my game though? How did I get these women involved with me? This phone is sliding. Hold on. There we go. And guys on TikTok and girls on TikTok, whatever, you could DM the accounts. People on YouTube, the links are in the description to get involved, get on the newsletter. And from the newsletter, you can message me and get, Instagrams, TikToks, get involved. There's so many guys in IMC. At this point, it's no longer me just streaming. Like the guys that are attending, TK and DJ Side Effects on the Zoom, I'm sure you attend other people's streams. There's a lot of guys streaming in IMC Nation. How cool. How much I've pushed them to do that. It's because, they're busy. They have jobs. It's not like, their favorite thing is just go on Zoom and stream. They don't have as integrated of a system like this gets posted for me. Enlightened Masculinity on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, what do you call it? All of them. Pandora, or what the fuck? Podbean. So if you're catching it there, then like and follow and share and leave a comment and whatever. Subscribe to the channel. Look, my game strategy, dude. Oh, man. And then I realized at some point around 27, 28, big transition period for people, or 26, 27, 28. I realized my game was real bad. I didn't even know what to call it game. I didn't understand, but game in the sense of game theory, in the sense of your strategy for something. And of course, we're talking about player. He's got game with women. What's your strategy to get women? That's game. And no one asked me at that time when I was 26. But if they had and I had written it down or told them or whatever, man, it would have been so undeveloped. I didn't understand what was going on. And I would just like 27-year-olds that are watching the stream right now. You know, do you think that I think your condition is much different? Besides that, maybe you weren't a stellar athlete and a stellar, you know, academic and a stellar this and that. You got whatever you got going on. What's your strategy to get women? So I started researching when I realized how pathetic and weak my game was, that I just had to admit, mind you, I was above average. If average is 7 girls in the lifetime, 7 partners in the lifetime of a man, I was way above average. But man, was it unsatisfying. I didn't understand what I was doing. And the relationship game, really bad. As far as like holding the girl down and then how long that happiness and the growth continues. You know, you grow when you get together with the girl. But for how long? A month? 3 months? 6 months? 12 months? At some point, she's just beating you down and you, man. I know the condition of men. You can't fool me, dude. Whatever people say, dude, I know. If you're watching this stream, you should make short content in order to get more viewers. That's what the account is. How do you think you found this account? See the comments. I don't even get what these people are saying. Why they come like that? So, but there's tons. There's like 400 short clips of AZD on this account. So check out the account. You know what I'm saying? So I started researching YouTube. I came across a bunch of pickup artists and this and that. It's fascinating. And I could tell because I dealt with Olympians and some of the best in the world in academics and soon to be some of the best in the world in the yoga. So I'd experienced the quote best in the world at a few subjects. Hold on, this phone is about to dizzy die. So I'm going to switch it over. Guys on TikTok, make sure you can still hear me. Comments that the volume is still good. Because sometimes I think it covers the mic when I set it on the phone. So just let me know. Go ahead and comment, Bible of Arash TikTokers. How's the audio right there? Make sure the microphone is not covered. Oh, actually, I had this thing. Okay. 1 second, bear with me. So now I know the microphone isn't covered. A little over on the angle, my wig, my bald head. So I start researching and I'm seeing the pickup artists and the pickup world, and I can immediately tell the quality of things like Mystery, Matador, Discovery, Love Drop, the Mystery Method people, Style, Neil Strauss. That's what I ended up getting involved with at first, was Neil Strauss. And I could tell the cheesiness of these other people. I suspected some of them got girls, and I could tell some things about them. You know, they were groomed. Typically, they worked on their body a little bit, so they weren't like totally flabby. You know, you could tell they worked out at least. You know, they were able to speak. You know, like they could flow out some words. And you know, at the time, I was real bad. I remember the whole era of transition where, like this, going live or making video content. A lot of people are nervous, shy about making some. Right on. Thank you. About making some video content. Like I remember that era for me. It was like a big deal. And like I remember walking the dog. I remember it was Florida evening, kind of foggy, and I'd make these, you know, and the old ass phone I was using, like. So, but that came later after, because it was AZD that you know, watching him and learning his game, which you learn even if he's not spelling it out, because his game is his life, like everything he's doing. So just modeling and mimicking what he does is going to do something for your strategy of getting women, even if you don't know it. So hold on 1 second. But I went through these other pickup artists and I ended up going to Neil Strauss first because of the fame, the obvious success. Like I didn't trust my wits when I was watching AZD, even though it made sense and I admired the courage and the lineages that he would speak about. But I went with Neil Strauss. It seemed like he had more of a system. It was the Style Life Academy, the 8 or 9 months, week by week, do these different missions. And that's great, man. You know, I wonder if I had more presence, but I had, you know, the thing about these pickup strategies, they give you the sound bites, things to say, maybe a few actions to take, you know, change your wardrobe, ask some opinions. They had a system for it, but it's all changing the ornaments. It's changing the outside, some of the features. It's not changing the inside. There's a reason why a man is in a certain condition. All of you men that are watching across all these platforms, you're in that condition for your mindset and your communication throughout the last several years of your life. That's why you're where you are. It's what you say. It's who you meet. It's the decisions you make, when to wake up, when to get out of the house, where to go, who to interact with. Yeah, there's a lot of, it's not random. It's just out of your control. So from your perspective, it seems random. Like, who's going to be at the grocery store today? Random. It's not random, dude. All of those individuals are at the grocery store for a reason, or they didn't go to the grocery store for a reason. It's not random to them. It's just random to you. So we could call it random. So there's a lot of things out of your control, let's say, situations you come across, people you come across. But ultimately, you find yourself in a condition after several years. You could have moved. You could have met somebody else. So you have your own beliefs and your lifestyle, your habits to blame. That's all it is. Change your habits, change your life. So, in a lot of ways, the pickup and going with Neil Strauss and reading Mystery Method and all that, that was the best of the best. I know now, after 8 years, that was the best of the best besides Arash. There are some other angles people take, like Hypnotica is not in that lineage, and his shit's dope, but I don't see people excelling with his stuff. And it's hard for me to really pay attention for too long after, studying Arash for so long. It's just a different pace and rhythm of speech and information delivery. It seems to come from different frame, but maybe that's because I'm so biased at this point. But he's one of the top G's, same thing with the pimps. There's some good guys, man, but it's just different, It's not what this is. Like, somebody was asking, does AZD promote OnlyFans? No, that's not what we're doing. We're not doing cam girls. That's a lame game. A lot of guys, they get girls through their sexuality like that and displaying their sexuality, and their women are so loose and disloyal, is whatever that is. That's not what God created man and woman to be like. And a lot of other guys, they get girls because they got rich and famous. And that's not what this is. AZD got rich and famous by getting girls. Other guys, they get rich and famous to get girls. Or they got rich and famous and then they got girls. Like, you think Dan Bazillion was had all of those bitches around him when he was worth under $1 million? No, it was after he made tons of money. And if he did, then that's what I'm talking about, is one of those naturals who's under the radar. He's not getting known for getting women. He got known for doing other things. I don't know what his success was. I'm sure he got with women, got with pretty women, just like I was above average, right? But my game sucked. So guys that go that strategy of, I'll throw mansion parties and, big keggers and whatever, DJs, expensive, attracts a lot of 9s and 10s potentially if you have some networking and a little bit of, social savvy. But that's a different game, dude. And the loyalty, the growth, the character development. What I'm saying is, you find yourself in a position with women and in life because of your character, how you've acted in your habits. And the pickup is when you learn pickup, it's going to change some of the bells and whistles, sound bites and situations, but it's not able to be comprehensive like that. Listen, I was reading one of these evolutionary psychology books. Very important reading. Guys that do the Origins camp this month, the Origins 2.0, I'll give away I'll go through my library and I'll explain some books that I don't even have anymore. I've given them away or whatever. I read them. And very important, these 4 or 5 evolutionary psychology books to understanding AZD's game. And a lot of guys can read those books, but, put it in the framework of AZD's game, multiple relationships, top alpha male, high value men aligning with him, women always, the finest women everywhere we go, always. It's just, dude, after 8 years, it's ridiculous. It's just like, at some point, you got to put like I just did, put your hand on your forehead and wonder, is this guy just like fucking, what's the guy? Perseus, half Zeus? Is this guy Superman, half Kal-El or whatever? I forget. No, he was all, who's another half one? Who are these half gods? I forget. Fuck. Anyway, is he like Perseus? Is he half god, dude? Is this dude favored? No, dude. As he breaks it down, as you learn more and more, so you see more of the details, like everything. If you're watching jiu-jitsu or any fighting, man, it's just a flurry of movements. You barely understand any of the technical things of what they're doing. But as you really master, like if you were a DJ, TK and DJ Side Effects are both DJs. I'm sure as you learn DJing, you start picking up a lot of things. I don't know anything about DJing, but you start picking up what the DJ is doing. He's using these effects. He's transitioned then. He did some manipulation there. At the beginning, it just kind of went all over your head. You just knew that you liked the music. But as you study it, you see, and it's not just, you might think, man, how's that guy play the dopest mix every time? Fuck, dude. And he's playing genres he doesn't even know. Like, dude, this guy's just lucky. We got to take this guy to Vegas. No, dude, as you study the DJing, you're like, oh, this guy is way more genius than I even thought. Those other guys, they had to push their sales. They had to sell their pickup so much to get you to believe them. Infield videos and bragging and debriefing, explaining their infield or whatever. I mean, go back through all of AZD's hundreds of video blogs on YouTube and see how much he talked about what he did with the girl last night. He does have some pre-selection videos, girls like on camera, but not picking up girls he is already in rapport with. But so many women, so many different women. Man, it wasn't smut. It wasn't that easy access, that sexuality to get guys. It was a strategy of life. And so as I saw more, where was I going with that? Character, your habits. So as I saw just the legitimacy of it, well, anyway, wait, where was I? Pick up, you learn some lines. So these evolutionary psychology books. So I'll give you a little factoid. May not blow your mind because I don't have all the data of it, but it's pretty condensed. It's pretty impressive. I was surprised by this. So this book, very good book, one of AZD's recommended reading. It described the dialogue between men and women at the beginning of courtship, even going back thousands of years, considering how developed language is. You can't really go back millions of years because the language is so primitive, but thousands of years for sure. That the process of courtship to make a woman yours was on the average, to a best guess estimation, about 1 million words of exchange between you and her. If we wrote the transcript for this podcast, I don't know how many words it'd be. It'd probably be like, depends how long it is, really. But it would be several pages, hundreds of words per page, thousands of words in this. So you and a girl and courting her, back and forth, 1 million words exchanged. How many are you going to? About 15 pages, Master Myself says. So I don't know how many words are on a page, but that's a lot of words. That might, I don't know if it's 10,000 words, but it's thousands. And, you know, the back and forth between you and a person when you're really in rapport, dude, it's going to be a lot. And pick up, how many words does, what's AZD? AZD is the account, dude. You follow this account, AZD _IMC. AZD is the acronym for Arash Sapar D Bazaar. That's the guy I live with. That's the founder of IMC Nation. I'm captain of IMC Nation. That's what this is. This is a podcast that I'm also streaming to the TikToks to talk about levels of training with AZD. Eventually, I'm going to get to this fucking theme of the show. So, 1 million words. Now, take all those pickup lines, all those sound bites. When she says this, you say that. When they say this, you say that. When this happens, you say that. Take all those lines, add up all those words. It's not that many. I'd be surprised if it was 1,000. It's less than 1,000. So such a small fraction of the courtship do pickup coaches, are they able to tell you? You're going to need to change your character from where your words come from, because you're just going to rely on your habit, your habitual use of language. And that got you what you have right now. So you learn a couple pickup lines. You're basically fooling a girl into thinking you're a different character, but keep talking. She's eventually going to see you're not that character that you just said with that soundbite. It's your fingerprint. It's your mind print, your words, your grammar, your syntax, your tonality. It's your print. It's the print of you. And a few sound bites isn't going to change that print too much. Practice it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it will. But also, if you haven't changed your character and you just practice, we had a guy, he was a coach here. He left, he's beta. And he was good at direct game, and he had lots of sound bites worked out, lots of script. He had worked out thousands of words of script for text game, for online dating to pick up girls, Tinder, Bumble, all that. He had a system, how to pick up girls on the street, because it's kind of a, you know how there's like shock value humor? There's kind of like a shock value pickup where it's like it surprises a girl and everybody is more compliant and obedient after being shocked, surprised, basically confused. They get more suggestible. And if you have any attractiveness to you and you've worked out how to lead from there to sex, and she hasn't worked out her defenses from there until sex because nobody ever does that. So you kind of catch them off guard. So he had a lot of success with that. And that's what direct game is. But if you just practice those lines over and over and you develop that character, you're still living a double life. So you still have your default syntax because you haven't changed your character. You've just developed a second character, an ulterior character. That's what a lot of the pickup artists did. This ulterior identity. And one of the profound insights of Neil Strauss was that, man, I really it's so much self-development in this. And of course, Hypnotica came in with that. And they all at the highest level will admit that. Even the lower level. There was a guy that had 1 million followers across TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. This guy's a legit dating coach. He was a student of AZD's for many months, really years, because he bought a bunch of programs. Over $10,000 he invested. And he has 1 million followers just teaching AZD stuff, never giving AZD credit because he's beta. He lives with his girl, cushy life. Girl owns his balls. Man, he's not a player. He just has a pretty good-looking girlfriend that runs his life and is going to leave him because she already said she's going to leave him because she also got coaching. You know, it's just ridiculous. But I was saying a lot of these guys will admit that you got to change your character at some point. You can't just learn pickup lines. That's going to, you may get stumped here or there. Like, what do I say to this girl? And, so a little line will help you kind of, break through that situation. But it's just going to create another situation. You need to change internal makeup, your inner workings of how you approach life and the relationships. So this is what AZD does. That's why he teaches so much, quote, inner game, because inner game comes out as outer game. When you have the right inner game, the outer game happen, then you can learn lines and stuff because you'll learn it's kind of like once you're fit, once you respect yourself, once you're disciplined, how you know how to watch your eating, you know how to watch your sleeping, you know how to watch your drinking, then you're really fit to learn combat, martial arts or whatever. You can go the other way and learn martial arts to clean up off of that and learn discipline and whatever. And maybe some guys do, but I think it's a minority. Most of them drop off. The people that are already good candidates for it, they take to it. And so they can learn the moves because they'll retain it. They'll practice it. They'll have memory, clear-headedness about it. They'll have emotional control about it. They won't be all unpredictable or whatever. So it's like that with game. You may not have the right language, and it'll still create problems for you when you learn the right language because you find yourself in situations that you're not really prepared for. Because if you were prepared for them, you would have already found yourself in those situations. You would have gotten yourself there. So you learn a little soundbite or a piece of information, and it kind of nudges you into the next level condition, and then you have some situations to deal with. And so AZD so much teaches you the inner game so that you can be set as a man. Then you can really learn game. And when you join IMC, we have a mystery method pickup coach, Eros, in Base Vegas. We have bases of guys that live together. And I was going to talk about that earlier, where it's like if you move as a unit, you have a lot more power. If you live in a unit, you have a lot more power. The women that come over, dude, it's so much different. I got some girl that turned dark the other day. And, it's a pretty cool thing to live with a bunch of alpha guys that, could kick her out if you need to stop dealing with her because she's going psycho. I know the condition of women out there. They're psycho. Just give it enough time. They're going to flip. They're hiding. They're keeping secrets. They're embarrassed and ashamed of things. And when you're embarrassed and ashamed of things, you keep secrets. And when you keep secrets, you hold it against the other person that they don't know your secret. And they're not taking your secret into consideration, even though you haven't told it to them. It's a weird thing that the psychology of humans. You're good luck convincing me that you're not in that condition. I know too much. I can't look back. I can't be blue pilled. I'd have to be brainwashed back into blue pilling it. So the inner game starts with just the products. You get involved. Like right here, the guy was asking, you should make some short clips. Dude, this account is nothing but short clips of AZD. This is just a long video for it. I appreciate your likes, guys. Hundreds of likes on Bible of Arash. Right on. You know. So you watch the free content. I call that freeloading. Load up on the free stuff. We have lots of clips on Instagram. Not so much on YouTube, but we have a lot of longer videos on YouTube. And, you know, we have Instagram accounts. A lot of free stuff there. If you'd like more, I offer my notes in the newsletter. So I send out emails regularly with notes. I think they're powerful notes. We have a Telegram group, soon to be Discord, but we're working with Telegram now. So a lot of the IMC guys are streaming. I'm looking at 2 of them right now that stream regularly. So you can get AZD philosophy filtered through another speaker, a master martial artist, a DJ, and an ex-military. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a cool perspective on this stuff. And I'm 8 years in it. So I remember year 1, 2, 3, man, levels of game, dude. You get better. You will get better. You will find better situations. You will ring some women. You'll rope them in. You'll catch them in orbit. And you'll lose yourself trying to keep them in orbit. It'll throw you off orbit. You'll start wobbling. You'll become a binary star system instead of a star and a planet. I almost like the analogy of the stars better because she has light also. It's not the same power level. So a planet and a moon works really well, or a star and a moon, but then there's planets in between. The planet is your creation with her. She's a moon around a planet. So you catch a moon in orbit of your star, and then you and her create a planet. It's not exact how the cosmos works, but you create a planet together. She protects the planet, nurtures the planet. That's what the moon does. And sometimes the moons are so big and you're so small as a star, or you're so insecure about yourself that you don't realize how powerful you are. So a lot of these guys they're giants. Some of these guys are like, they lift weights, probably played football. They're huge. Little girls, little ass girls walking with them in front of them, leading them everywhere. They're all defeated, shrunk shoulders, slouched shoulders, but they're huge. They're like 3 times their size. It's a man that's forgot his power. It's ridiculous. And she's pulling him by what? His emotions. This invisible string. And how's she doing that? She have some emotion hooks that she claws him? No, with her words and these tits and ass. Dangling these in front of him so that his senses get hooked, and then using her words and eventually just defeating him and directing his flow with her words. That's what any guy that's in a condition with relationship right now, that's where you're at. I know your condition. For the most part, the guys that get 2 and 3 girls and are in poly, whatever, they're in that condition too. They're pulled so much. Married guys, don't even fucking try to fool me. don't even try. You might be that one exception, but a lot of you online would think you're that one exception. You're not. It's like 1 in 1,000. Okay, so you get involved. Those are some of the free resources. You find guys that are part of IMC and they stream and they'll lead you to other access points, like coming to the morning class and seeing it for free. Just be a guest. Everybody wants to share it with you. You'll see the dialogue between AZD and the guys. And the dialogue, remember, the word exchange between a man and a woman, 1 million words to mate. Right on, William Stevenson. Be my guest, dude. Send me a DM on Bible of Arash. Be my guest for tomorrow's Alpha Academy class. That's with AZD. Because I am just a perspective and a reflection of his teachings here. I've remade my mind brick by brick from 8 years ago. Totally different personality and character. With the results that I had in life, the friends I had or lack of friends, my social/antisocial behavior, my strategy of life game, my game sucked. Although I was high level, I was finishing a PhD, excellent guitar player, excellent yoga practitioner. I built a brand on yoga and traveled the United States teaching yoga. That's why they call me Yogi Chris. And I left that during COVID and just went full time with AZD and IMC. And I've built this for the last 3.25 years to a powerful structure of monthly camps, now twice a month camps, bases, music videos been released, private parties. We've done like 16 or 17 of these. The last one we streamed, pay-per-view, Are You Alpha, bunches of models. I got a few relationships going, and then, and it's just, it's just legit. And still learning. You just get involved. The inner game will come out in the outer game. You come to maybe a free class and you maybe like it. And maybe you're like me and you see it and you kind of like it, but you like something else more because you want more immediate results. The guys that's saying you're going to get laid if you do this system. So you go and learn from somebody else. We'll see you later. You'll see us later because we keep going. We keep putting content out. You're going to find us later and you're going to realize that you made a wrong decision. And it's unfortunate you're going to learn a lot of wrong habits. My journey would have been faster had I not learned wrong habits of direct game and different ideas. Maybe I needed those as intermediaries. I'm not looking back with regret, like maybe those were stepping stones, but I had to unlearn a lot to learn the right way. And still learning because on this evolution, AZD is not static. He's growing, so he invalidates his own prior teaching sometimes, and he'll admit it. Master myself is nodding his head. He knows. I know he knows. I know you know. You already know, though. You should already know that I already know, though. We already know, though. Fernando knows. He just laughed. It's one of the half guardians that live here. 2 guardians and me, a captain, live with AZD founder. Those are the ranks. Guardian Master myself is on. And Master Apprentice TK is on. These are ranks. Okay. And then on up. Once you get involved with the inner game stuff, you come to Alpha Academy, you see it a few times. Maybe you're a guest a few times just to see it. Or maybe you go somewhere else, circle back around later in a year, 2 years. You like it, you join. Prepare, buckle up. Oh, shit. Roller coaster's going up the hill now. Woo! Because the first time it drops is when you come in person. That's when the roller coaster, that's when you see how high have you gone. You've built this up. It just keeps going up. You're like, man, I feel so good. And then you come in person. Ah! And you're like going to the strip club and you're going to the alpha party and you're here at the base and there's like 15 or 20 other alpha guys and we're all clean cut and all look strong. We're all fighters tatted up in different places. AZD's here speaking with such authority. And just his eye gaze when he looks at you and he says, what's up, man? I've seen you online. And you're just like, there's the presence. There's so much presence. And you're just like, whoa! You go to the strip club or, whoa! The next day you're doing the infield report. Oh! And then you take the plane ride home and you're like, oh. And you get back and they're like, how was it? And you're like, oh, man. You just do your hand in your face. You're like, I got to do that again. Oh, man. And then you keep doing it. And, you end up recreating. You remake some of that experience for yourself where you live. Master myself lives in a base with 5 other IMC guys now. He's been to camp too many times to count. Lived here, done residency with AZD. I'm sure he's creating some roller coasters for himself in life. It's just like, whoa, oh man, this is an adventure of life. Because this roller coaster I'm describing, AZD's camp, is AZD's life. All he does is switch his schedule around a little bit for camp, but that's how he lives. Lectures, strip clubs, getting the finest bitches, not just the strip clubs, at bar, restaurants, goes on dates with his girlfriends all the time on a schedule, has amazing experiences, reports them in on meetings. His life is amazing, dude. Watch his Instagram. He has these magical conversations with strangers. Like he'll deal with homeless people, old ladies, old men, kids. Sometimes teaches, man, when you see his martial arts class and how he teaches the kids, dude, the awareness of psychology and the mastery of delivery, the delivery of his communication, man, wives, families, oh man, restaurant owners and women, of course, the finest women, dude. It's a mastery across the board. And it took so many times of me seeing so many times, dude, how many times I saw him in person. So you guys don't know. You don't know though. Master myself knows a little bit. I was around for a long time in person for 8 years. I kept coming in person and he wasn't doing much in-person events. That's what I've created for the movement. So It was mind-blowing. It's still mind-blowing, dude. I lived with him for 3 years. How many times have I seen him in field? I'm still just like, man, the mastery of so many places, so many, because it's his character. He didn't learn sound bites to deal with women. And he has double character where his language is so different elsewhere. It's his language, dude. He's got it. It's legit. So you just get involved more and more. As you're on Alpha Academy, there's higher level trainings. Origins 2.0 just released. Best 15 recent lectures of AZD talking about his process, how he wakes up, how he does whatever, and then how he calibrates his communication throughout life, business, women, advanced mentality from his origins process. He has a perspective using his imagination and a certain daily routine, certain readings. And that's what I'm going to offer. Because in addition to the recordings of those 15 main recordings, me, the two other guys that live with AZD, and our head pickup coach, we're each lecturing once a week. And my big contribution is the reading list, because I've been around long enough. I know that's why even the alumni should do it, because I'm going to give you information you don't have. And at the higher levels, get one new book that's on his list. It's worth it. Because the cost of the book would be less than the cost of the camp. But good luck finding the book. And how much longer are you going to go without that book? And you should know at this point that a year, 2 years, 3 years head start on some information gives you advantage over other people forever. Even if they read it, you'll always have more experience with it. And you can ask questions for a longer duration because you got it sooner. What book? Exactly, William Stevenson. What book? That's what I'll give away in the Origins 2.0 camp. That's the intermediate training. So there's freeloading, load up on the free stuff. There's get invited to a class or come to some of our podcasts like this. Come to a class with AZD. Get involved with Alpha Academy, $97 a month, 7 days a week, 10 a.m. It'll change your life. Come in person for a camp if you can. That's advanced. Intermediate before advanced is Origins. Origins, you get his process. Why? Because he designed that, because you need to understand more of the system of thinking, how to live your life so that your exterior is fit to learn the inner game. Just like I was saying with martial arts, you become fit to learn the techniques because you get your shit in order. That's Origins. Then advanced training. And that's when you could come in person. And then there's more advanced trainings than that, because the more you can absorb of this life of with AZD, the more context you'll get, the more references you'll get. It'll fill in the picture. So there's ways to live here, residency. There's private moments. That's an exercise that you got to be here in person and be approved for it. But then we observe your presentation. We explain you the directions. And AZD, it's just profound, dude. I did 12 or so of these private moments, and I want to do more. And there's a whole progression of those exercises. It's exercises and presence. He has technology, a system that will work on your character, not just Style Life Academy with a bunch of sound bites and gambits and whatever. And then there's higher level trainings. He's teaching seduction this month. I am Zapar. It's a very advanced training. Only 10 guys admitted. One of those guys discovered AZD. He's 20 years old. Discovered AZD 10 or 11 months ago on AZD _IMC TikTok. Or no, sorry. Bible of Arash TikTok. Because I see him on, he goes, it's one of them, I forget. Sometimes he joins my lives. And I'm like, Raphael? Dude, guy 20-year-old in college, University of Wisconsin, actually, TK. And I forget which one. One of the campuses there. And finds TikTok. Eventually, I'm messaging with him. He goes to Instagram. Because I tell him on Instagram, AZD's active on Instagram. So you could watch his Instagram if you go to Instagram. So he goes to Instagram. We're messaging for a while. He's resisting signing up. I finally, after a month or two of talking to him, get him to sign up for Alpha Academy. He thanks me. He says, I remember how resistant I was. I screenshot the messages to all my guys just to see how the guy, he resisted, but I know he wants it. He's been duped so many times. Guys, you've been duped so many times by fake pickup coaches, fake systems, and in life. And plus, you're not all there. You're not all present. You're in a fog. So you're not really hearing what I'm telling you. You're hearing whatever you're hearing. But Eventually the message gets through. He joins the program. After a month or two, he joins a camp. He does another camp. And then now he just joined IAMS Apar, most advanced seduction training on earth. Meanwhile, another guy who just joined Alpha Academy, he's got millions of dollars. He wants to learn Dan Bazillion's method of throw a mansion party so a bunch of bitches come over. Dude, you're going to get some chick pregnant. It's going to ruin your life. You're going to get some girl that cries rape on you because you're worth millions of dollars. You're going to get robbed. You're going to get taken advantage of, dude, if you're not at that position in life. And you're going to get girls for your money. You're going to be a trick. Hey, Raphael. Dude, I didn't even know he was on. He's on the TikTok right now. Bible of Arash. And he just said, UW-Madison, TK. Dude, how excited. Dude, William Stevenson. Look at Raphael. Raphael just commented to see William Stevenson. He was just like you, Will. He was just a guy on TikTok that found AZD clips and was like, man, this shit, dude, this is affecting me. Dude, these 30-second clips are changing my mindset. Sure, Yogi Chris. Actually, I think it was some other guy that got him over to Instagram or something. I'll go to Instagram. And then on Instagram, he's talking with me and he's showing respect and everything because he values AZD. And he gets on and man, it's just changed his life. And now he's in the most advanced training. And he was just gifted a second advanced training just for being so dedicated. And when I got on the phone with Raphael, I was like, you sure you want to do this? Like, I'm not going to tell you to do it. I could tell he wanted to do it. I'm 36. He's 20. He looks up to me. You don't think I could influence a 20-year-old that's already interested in this stuff? I don't want to sell a 20-year-old his life savings if he doesn't really want it. But I tell him, I'm like, dude, if you get this, it will change your life if you actually study it. And it has. We've only done 4 talks. It's already changed me. It's very advanced stuff. Very advanced. You see what seduction is. Not throwing mansion parties, get a bunch of bitches over, get them drunk, and then maybe you'll hook up with some of them and do that enough and you get more experience with women. But your experience of women is not going to be AZD's experience of women. The game, the real game in the mind with communication and, oh, dude. So Raphael's getting it. And we're all getting it. So there's levels to this. I have a girl coming, so I'm going to need to end this. And I'll see you on soon. Guys on TikTok, DM the account. Check out the link in the bio to just sign up for Alpha Academy. You don't got to wait for all of those intermediate steps. Just sign up for Alpha Academy. It's $97. Guys that are already on Alpha Academy, Origins, if you haven't done Origins. If you already have your beads, I sent you an email. It's by donation. And let's see. Anything else? William Stevenson, I want to see you on class, man. It's good having you on. I like your energy. I'd like to see you benefit from showing up to AZD's class. You know what I mean? And just real quick, I just want to check the stats on, because I'm streaming to so many channels. Nice. Good. Oh man, I appreciate you guys. I'm glad I kept your attention on the YouTube channels. Glad you showed up. I recommend for you guys, I laid it out how to get involved with the free stuff, get involved with more of the teachings. Hopefully I did a good justice. And I will see you all soon, hopefully. I love getting to know you. Like, what an honor to meet Raphael online. He hasn't come in person yet, but man, that'll happen. And you know when it happens? We're going to be the closest brothers. All of us are the closest brothers because our ideas and our values and our philosophies are so similar on the deepest levels. We all have different preferences. I don't like Mexican music. I'm sure Raphael likes Spanish music. I don't fucking like Spanish music. But that's actually not important. There's other values that we have that are super important, and we're aligned. And it's going to be like brothers that we haven't seen for like 20 years when he comes. And that's thanks to philosophy. So you have brothers around the world when you study this stuff. It's true. It's real. To a deeper level than just being teammates or being everybody's a pickup artist. So he's into pickup, you're into pickup. You're not brothers, dude. So that's so cool to meet one of my long lost brothers. Where were you, Raphael? Where you been? I've been missing you for 20, 21 years. And that's what some of you also are. And that's pretty cool from my perspective. Being in this game year after year, I'm seeing it more. TK was a stranger. Brothers now. Dude, but were we already brothers or did we become brothers? I don't get it. I think we just woke up to it and we met and we made it happen in this material life. Thank you, everybody. Praise the Lord.